The Quality Award organized by the Hong Kong Management Association has come to its 13th year. Today we'll have an overview of the award through meeting with its past winners, and they will examine some of the judging criteria. From there, we can get a glimpse of what leads a corporate to its path of success. Hi, Mr. Chen. Can you please tell us the objectives of the Quality Award?
The fundamental objectives of the HKMA Quality Award is to recognize and reward companies on their commitment to quality through public recognition of their effort and also achievement in total quality management.
Dr. Lee, as the chairman of the Board of Examiners, can you please tell us the judging criteria of the Quality Award?
There are 7 judging criteria for this award. These criteria are first, leadership, second, strategic planning, and third, market and customer focus, and the fourth is measurement, analysis, and knowledge management, and the fifth one is process management, and the sixth one is human resources focus, and the seventh one is business result.
Hi, Mr. Rao. Fuji Xerox is the first overall winner of the HKMA Quality Award back in 1991. So can you briefly tell us how Fuji Xerox sees the term leadership?
It's a good question. Instead of being abstract about it, we tend to think that leadership comprises around 5 or 6 critical elements. And we believe it has to do with the values and the vision that is set for an organization, how one manages for results. Then we look at things like role model behavior. We look at stuff like fact-based, principle-based actions. And we look at communication. And then we also consider that environmental and societal responsibility is important. And then we look at things like teamwork, respect for the individual, open and honest communication. And then we also look at things like professionalism. Is there a positive attitude? Is there integrity? And do people trust each other? We took some critical elements of these values. These are the values which are intended to govern everyone's behavior. The other critical element in our vision statement deals with our most valuable assets, our people. And we talk about how we envisage a state where our people are very professional, passionate customer champions, and what all we can do to develop them. So for any organization, it's important that whoever is in the organization, they work by a set of values, and there's a certain vision or a dream state that you aspire to. It's a dream that it doesn't matter how close or how far it is from reality, but it's the quest to try and achieve that vision which stimulates everything that everyone does in the organization. And in managing for results, we have a cascade program where high-level goals are set for me by Fuji Xerox. And then these goals are translated down to every individual staff member in the company. So from me to my direct reports, from them to their managers, from their managers to the different levels of staff, and so on. So it's like a thread which runs across the organization where every person in the company knows what and how they need to do to achieve specific company results. Most of the time, what we try to do is, firstly, any decision that we are making, we ensure that we're looking at the facts, we're looking at the numbers, we're looking at the analysis, we're looking at, we have a process, and we have certain internal tools that we utilize. But we try to make sure that everybody is using facts to manage the situation.
And Mr. Chen, how does McDonald's determine requirements, expectations, and preferences of its customers and markets?
McDonald's business is customer-driven. Although we have clearly defined our business parameter and know the do's and don'ts of the business, Still, we have to understand our customers and the market. So to understand our customers and markets, we have put in place a number of researches and surveys. To name a few, we have focus group, we have price sensitivity study, we have market share study, customer preference study, and customer satisfaction survey as well.
And Mr. Chen, can you please briefly talk about some major steps that Town Gas has taken out to implement TQM?
Town Gas TQM program can be briefly described into 3 different levels. In the process and procedural level, we have in the 1990s obtained ISO 9002 and 14001 for key business operations. This helps us to lock in discipline in carrying out our quality procedures. Then we think it's very important to instill a concept of change management for the company. As such, in 1992, we launched our Superior Quality Service program, in which we train all our employees in the practice of total quality management. In this process, employees are encouraged to make improvement on their day-to-day operations in the departments. Then back in 1996, we began our business process re-engineering program, in which we translate our business strategy into specific large-scale projects which were carried out by department managers in a functional cost department nature. All the 3 programs, when added together, form the crust of the TQM program of Town Gas, which helped the company in the last several years to successfully diversify our businesses, as well as to expand our business horizon into other territories.
I'm aware that leadership and business results constitute a large part in the marketing scheme. So do you think such arrangement favors more towards large corporations?
I think leadership and business results are important for all kinds of business, all kinds of operations, big or small, service or manufacturing, all kinds. If you don't have good leadership, then how can you success in the business world? So I don't think these criteria are favor the big ones. It is also applicable to small ones.
I understand that the same set of judging criteria will be used for all applicants. So do you think the criteria will suit all kinds of industry?
The criteria are the same, but it all depends on how the organization will interpret the criteria. Small ones, they may look at results more, or they may look at the systems more, and they may have different perspective regarding leadership. For a leader or a CEO of a big organization, of course, they will look at a different angle when they talk about leadership. For small ones, they may see it in a different point of view. That is the way they interpret and adopt the criteria, rather than the criteria itself. The criteria itself, I think, is quite generic.
So is there any minimum requirement a corporation needs to meet before they can apply for the award?
In fact, all companies, irrespective of their size or nature of business, so long as they have their principal activities in Hong Kong, are eligible to apply for the HKMA Quality Award.
Mr. Chen, in terms of process management, how does McDonald's manage its key processes for different aspects of its business?
Talking about business processes, each business process, I think, involves thousands of people at different departments, at different levels. And it also involves thousands of procedures and steps. So putting all the nuts and bolts together needs cross-functional effort within the organization. In McDonald's, there are a number of cross-functional teams managing all key business processes. And take food safety as an example. We have what we call food safety team, which is responsible for designing, implementing, and evaluating the effectiveness of the food safety process. However, cross-functional team is a structure in itself. To make it function properly and effectively, we have to make sure 2 things are happening, namely leadership and expertise. Putting in the right leader in each functional team provides each team a sense of direction. As the leader is trained in process management, nobody in the team would need to waste any time in figuring out what to do and how to do it. Expertise in each team is also important as well. So it is a must in each cross-functional team to have some number of experts. Last but not the least, all business processes are well supported by the IT department technology-wise.
And how would you rate the Quality Award when compared to other international awards of similar nature?
Okay, actually the Hong Kong MA Quality Award adopts the criteria of the Malcolm Borich National Quality Award of the USA. So it's the same set of criteria. Of course, you will know that in US, this award, the Malcolm Borich National Quality Award, is the most prestigious award because every year the winners will get the award from the president of the states. So it's the most prestigious award in the US, and we adopt this criteria, and we are sure that these criteria are of very high standard to us.
Some of you may think that getting all the paperwork done for the award is an extra workload. When we come back, you'll see why this is a misconception. So stay tuned. As a human body needs periodical health check, so does a corporation needs regular in-depth examination. There might be areas that you have overlooked in the daily operations, and sometimes you just need to keep a distance from what you're doing. The Quality Award provides a chance for a company to review itself. By going through this health check, you can be sure of the direction that your company is heading. And how do you rate your company's business result in terms of customer satisfaction, product and service performance?
We don't think customer satisfaction is an end in itself. We tend to view it as a means of gaining customer loyalty. Customer satisfaction by itself does nothing for any organization. If it cannot help or assist in the achievement of specific business goals. We do measure customer satisfaction a lot in the areas that you spoke about. But we believe that if you have very good customer satisfaction, you need to try and move that to customer loyalty. So it's not necessary that a satisfied customer will repurchase from you or that you get all the business from a satisfied customer. So what we tend to focus on is, while customer satisfaction is important and we measure it, we do a multiple correlation regression analysis. We do surveys, and then we try to correlate what are the factors within satisfaction, and we measure around 60, 70 different points. Which are the points which influence customer loyalty the most? And then for some years now, we started by looking at what our loyalty was, and we have specific measurements. There are 3-4 things we measure there. We look at, do we get repeat purchases? Do we look at, do we get all the purchases made by the customer, and so on? And then we know which elements drive customer loyalty. So when you have good customer satisfaction, and then if you can figure out which are the elements which help you pursue customer loyalty, and then if you can work on those factors, then you have a group of customers which stays very loyal to you, so you maintain a revenue base. And then that group of customers, if it starts doing more business with you, you start getting increased revenues. And because your base is constant, you also get better profitability.
So can you briefly elaborate on the effort that Town Gas has put in motivating its employees to develop and utilize the full potentials for the benefit of the company?
We seek an open-minded environment for the company and encourage expression of creative and innovative ideas. As such, we organize every year a number of awards and competitions in which we encourage our colleagues to take part so as to fully utilize the potentials in strategic thinking and also encourage teamwork. We also emphasize on training and development. Our objective is to enhance our employees' technical knowledge, professional skills, and personal development, and to instill lifelong learning concept into the minds of the employees.
McDonald's is a people business. In the area of people development, we have very high commitment. For each position in the company, we have a training program for the employees to go with. Each employee has to follow specific time schedule to attend training courses. Besides, we also sponsor some number of employees to attend external training as well. Currently, we have been sponsoring some number of frontline managers attending courses provided by the School of Hotel and Tourism Management in the Polytechnic University. Perhaps the most significant milestone of McDonald's Hong Kong in recent years is the establishment of the 7th Hamburger University in Hong Kong, which is located in Times Square, Causeway Bay. In motivating our employees to fully utilize the potentials, we have put in place what we call Performance Development System, PDS. In the PDS, each employee is required to come up with their annual development plan, which is related to the personal development as well as business objectives.
And can you tell us how Fuji Xerox made use of its information and analysis system to enhance its business?
Well, information management is important. We believe that knowledge management is far more important and critical. Information management is about the hardware and the software and the bits and bytes that help you capture data, turn that into information. But it's the knowledge, it's the intellectual capital that resides within the heads and within the brains of every staff in every organization, which is vitally important. There is so much that people know, but if we can get them to collaborate, if we can get them to share, if we can get them to teach each other best practices and the best ways of doing things, there could be significant improvements in return on investment. For most organizations, the most significant cost that they have, the highest percentage, is what is called labor. And it's in the minds of the people that are employed by various organizations that the most powerful business drivers are.
And Mr. Chen, what are the benefits of joining the competition?
For companies entering this award, they will have to go through the 7 judging criteria, which are modeled after the American Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. Through this process, these companies will have the opportunities to review the strengths and weaknesses of their total quality management. Shortlisted companies will have the chance to get free consultation and advice from the Board of Examiners, comprising of the most experienced and respected quality experts in Hong Kong. The invaluable recommendations and comments by the examiners are important for the company's continuous improvement. For the winners, the award definitely helps strengthen their reputation and positive image among the whole community and increase the morale and motivation of their staff by properly recognizing their efforts.
Can you please briefly describe to us the concept of TQM, like how international is this approach?
Now, actually, nowadays people tend to put all management elements into TQM. There's no one international standard on TQM itself, but people tend to put down all kinds of management elements they would expect under TQM. Say, for instance, as a result of the Enron issue in the States, this year they add in corporate governance under this award criteria. So now, if you talk about international, we adopt the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award criteria of the states. And this criteria is not a published criteria and once for all. It's not. It is a live criteria because in the States, the Malcolm Bosch National Quality Award criteria are revised every year. So they try to add in the most recent element into this award. Now, worldwide, as far as I know, Singapore, for instance, European countries, for instance, they take similar criteria, but of course they may vary a little bit, a bit here, a bit there, but in total, I think all kinds of award criteria consist of similar elements. So I would say that because in Hong Kong MA Quality Award follows Malcolm Bosch National Quality Award criteria, and that is quite nationalized on one hand, and it is quite updated because we change as the Malcolm Bosch changes.
It's been 12 years since Fuji Xerox has first won the award. So how does your company adapt to the changing business environment throughout the years using the same TQM approach?
Yeah, I'm glad you used the last three words, using the same TQM approach. I believe it was one of the former chairman of Xerox Corporation, David Kearns, who said, in the race for quality, there is no finish line. In the sense that quality never goes out of style. Quality, in its fundamental essence, is about ensuring that customer needs are met and satisfied. So only two things change. One is the specific standards that you set for yourself. And as the business environment has been becoming tougher and more difficult, these standards that we set for ourselves, which are prescribed by our customers, become tougher, higher, more difficult. So you strive to achieve, to do better in the areas that you are already doing, number one. Number two, our management model, which is very similar to the model which is used to assess the quality award winners, that has around 6 different focus areas. It talks about leadership, customer market focus, information management, results management, and so on. Most what intelligent management should do is pick maybe different areas of this overall model, let's say 3 to 4 at a time, maximum. And then you want to try and do what you can to become very good or world-class in these areas. Once you feel you've achieved that state, then you move to other areas, you move to other areas, you move to other areas. And it's a cycle that never ends.
And Mr. Chen, can you tell us what kind of preparations the potential entrants need to do if they're interested in participating in the award?
All participating companies are first required to submit an initial submission, which briefly described their practice in quality management. These submissions will then be screened by a team of experts in quality management. Shortlisted applicants will be invited to complete a final submission write-up with detailed description of what they have achieved in the 7 judging criteria of the award, and delivered then a 30-minute presentation before a board of examiners. Further shortlisted companies will then be asked to accommodate site visits, during which the board of examiners will approach employees and ask relevant questions relating to the quality practices, and then perhaps review certain critical data and information concerning their applications. Then the senior management will attend the final judging, during which they will have to answer questions raised by the panel of judges, who will then finally make the decision in selecting the winners.
I'm sure by now that you've got an idea of all the 7 judging criteria. So thanks for staying with us today, and hope to see you again in the near future. Goodbye.